Hey guys, how's it going? This is Khan and welcome to another Division video. The new global event Ambush is now active, and if you haven't played it yet, I've got some pretty good news for you on a way that you can start clearing out some of these commendations and working on some of them, because this global event is quite time consuming in getting the mass and getting some of these commendations knocked out. Now in this video I am going to be talking about a way that with a particular build and particular weapon setup, you'll be able to kind of get through some of these commendations a bit faster than you would if you had not used this method. And yeah, hopefully it'll save a bunch of you some time, maybe get you some mask along the way, and work on a few of the commendations all at the same time, saving you a whole bunch of time so that you can get going and doing other things like grinding to get those GE credits so that you can start opening up other caches for the classified gear sets. As a word of warning, this is not a glitch, this is not an exploit, this is not some kind of cheese or some way to cheat the system. This is just a way to stack and maximize your time to put as many commendations together or work on as many commendations together so that as you play through the game over time, you'll be able to knock out a few of them and just get them out of the way. This will also help you with a mask. Not a whole lot of masks, but it will help you get one of the masks very quickly. And yeah, this is just a way that you can use a bunch of the things that are in the game. If you don't have the things that are in this game or in this video, then I do apologize, but definitely you will need a defense build, hopefully a classified defense build. The classified 6-piece defense build is very good for this, and you will also need a shotgun sidearm, preferably something with predatory. If you have a shotgun sidearm, the sidearm shotgun, not the regular one, but the sidearm shotgun and a defense build, then you should be good to go. If you've met that criteria and you know that this isn't a cheese, then let's get started on giving you guys the information about it. I'll tell you about the build, I'll talk about the commendations that you can knock out, and then at the end I'll give you guys a couple of tips that you may not know that will help you out in the long run while going through this process. So let's go. Alright, now with the intro all out of the way, everyone knows what we're getting into. What are we going to be doing? So we're going to be looking at the motion blur commendation to get the bug mask. We're going to be looking at the surprise punch commendation to get the sucker punch patch. It's got a little boxing glove on it, looks pretty cool. Then we've got the close quarters commendation to get the shoulder buster patch. So they're two patches and a mask that we're going to be working on, and there are also a few other commendations that will kind of get worked on along the way. One of them is going to be the ambush boss killer. As you do the missions, of course, you'll be killing bosses, and that'll help go towards your score for that. And then also, if you are running with a group, or it may be you and a buddy, then you could work on your clear run. You do need a group for that. So if you put all of this stuff together just with this build and this weapon loadout, then you should be able to work on more than 5 things, and you should be able to get a mask and a couple patches. So pretty good. So let's get started on what do you need to do. So the first thing that we're going to need is a defense build. The classified is heavily preferred because the classified gives you a pretty substantial damage increase to melee, and that's what we're going to be using for the surprise punch and the sucker punch patch. This is really going to come in handy, so defense is the way to go. Now the next thing we're going to need is a double-barreled sidearm, preferably with predatory, and we're not going to be running the strategic ambush type missions. We're going to be running the missions on hard with regular ambush. Now the reason you're going to want the predatory sidearm shotgun is because when you get kills with either the melee or with the shotgun itself, it will proc predatory, which will give you health, and that health will keep you alive so that you can keep running and gunning and just staying active. Now the reason that we're going to run with just the regular ambush is because the other modifiers will decrease your energy, or they're going to take your life away as you move. So you want to just keep it on regular ambush and keep moving, and then just keep bashing people with the shield, and then using the sidearm shotgun to slow things down, or as a good way to close the gap when something is shooting at you and your health is a little bit low and you shoot. Now, one of the good things about using this combination is with the sidearm active, or with the sidearm drawn out, even when you bash with the shield, you'll still get the predatory to proc. So even if you don't kill with the shotgun, you'll still get your health back if you bash with the shield. Now, with this build and setup, there are a lot of commendations that we will be able to work on all at the same time, which should save you some time if you want to clear them all. But there are some that we will not be able to even begin to work on because they require us to use the tech talents, such as the Rolly Ball, Tack Link, Flame Turret, and the Sticky Bomb. Those commendations are the Gadget Geek. That's one of them that requires you to have only the Tech Wing skills. Tech Time is another one. You'll have to do all of the missions with only the Tech Wing skills. That one's going to be a bit of a challenge. The Technically Able, this you have to only have the Tech Wing skills, and you need to be in a group. And then the last one is going to be Technically Doable. You have to do all of the objectives, and you have to do them in a group and with only the Tech Wing skills in your loadout. Now, these are going to require a bit more coordination, and I wouldn't recommend, well, some of them you can't even do solo. But yeah, if you are trying to do all of the commendations and you're a completionist, then you will need to kind of posse up with some people to get those things done. All right, now before we take off, just as a little side note, for some of the agents who may be new to using the defense build, with the shotgun only, I believe that's the close quarters commendation, you will not be able to use any of the primary weapons that you have. So one thing that could become an issue is that when you have your shield out, you will not be able to really switch to your sidearm if you have an SMG active. So one thing that you can do, as you see my character has his SMG out, I really don't want to make that mistake of firing it because it could deactivate that commendation. You just stick to the wall, and then when you're stuck to the wall, you can switch to the sidearm shotgun, and then you'll be good to go. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, the last thing, a little tip that I wanted to give you guys is that with the shield, you're kind of immune to standing in the flamethrower from the big bosses, the cleaners, and even from the smaller guys. So if you are going to run Dragon's Nest, this might be kind of helpful. I'm not sure if this works when you stand in the fire in the last room. I haven't done Dragon's Nest just yet, but I do know that if you are going up against the flamethrowers and you do need to do this for that last commendation, then you definitely can do that. So I hope you guys found this useful. If you did find this bit of information helpful, be sure to hit that like button. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell notification for future videos and for live streams. And yeah, I'm pretty glad that a lot of you guys have enjoyed the Division content that I've put out so far. So keep it going, and I'll see you in the next video.
Con.